Douglas Murray is Associate Editor of The Spectator, best-selling author, most recently The Madness of Crowds, Gender, Race and Identity. Which is it, an appeal for humanity or virtue signalling? Douglas, good morning.
Well, good morning. It could be both, of course. What's pathetic about it is that Ben and Jerry's think that it's their job, or bits of their social media team think it's their job, to lecture the Home Secretary in quite such a patronising manner. They say things like, we'd like to remind you that we're all human beings, as if Priti Patel doesn't know that. They say, for the people at the back. And the people at the back that Ben and Jerry's social media team are talking about might be people we used to call customers. And so I say there's something strange going on, not just because, it's strange for ice cream companies to try to lecture anyone, let alone the Home Secretary, about immigration, but because of what's really happening. And what's happening is that a company like Ben and Jerry's does this sort of thing, not just to virtue signal, but also to cover over some of its own behaviour. You just referred to the tax dodging of its parent company. But, in recent years, there have been serious questions about the labour that Ben & Jerry's itself has used in America, among other places. There have been allegations that Ben & Jerry's has been caught exploiting migrant workers in the US and elsewhere. You could easily say, are they so keen for illegal migrants to come to the UK because they've done very well with illegal migrant workers in the US? There are basic things Ben & Jerry's don't seem to be able to do, which you think an ice cream maker might be able to do. Turned out a few years ago they still had weed killer found in their product. If I was an ice cream maker, I'd try to keep the weed killer out of my ice cream before I started lecturing Priti Patel. What this is really is just them covering over very bad and serious accusations about their own behaviour and hoping everyone will sort of pass it by saying, oh, look, Ben and Jerry's are defending the illegal migrants trying to cross the channel.
Douglas, let me put this to you. Writing in one newspaper today, The Times, David Aronovich says that this is political hysteria and sabre-rattling, and polling shows only 9% of the population rate immigration as a major issue. Douglas Murray.
It's interesting that, isn't it? These polls go up and down. But one of the interesting things about the polls about immigration, which I've studied for a long time, is that the British public are generous about people who they believe are actually fleeing oppression. They are worried about, and are legitimately worried about, the fact that we seem to have a system where, yes, we have an asylum system, and we also have this strange assault court system where if you make it all the way to Dover, then you basically get to stay anywhere. And they are worried about that. The British public's concerns about migration have gone down significantly since the Brexit vote, and there's a reason for that, which is that the Brexit vote persuaded many people that actually this country was grappling with this issue, and that the laws to grapple with it and the ability to grapple with it was back in the hands of the British government.
Douglas, I must leave it there for time reasons. Thank you for your input. You're Associate Editor of The Spectator. Check out Douglas's most recent book, The Madness of Crowds, Gender, Race and Identity.